So welcome to the colouring zone. So I thought it would be a good way of starting off my channel by just showing you some of the books that I first got when I started colouring. So one of the first ones is Creative Colouring for Grownups, and it's Pretty Patterns. So I've done quite a few in this one, I think. This is one of the first, as I said, one of the first books. It's me testing something. So I started this Lily page, it's quite large spaces. So at the time I was just using markers, I think they were the Staedtler 360s and the felt tips. Make sure you're in frame. So quite colourful rainbow page, and I think again it's the Staedtler ones that I used. See there's a little bit of pencil here. I'm not sure what that was. And if I just flick through, so quite bold colours really that I used initially when I started colouring, and just felt tips really. Another one, and I've seen that I've like done dots and dashes and stuff. It's not something that I don't really use that many felt tips now, very rarely really. So this one I combined felt tip and coloured pencil. I think the pencils that I've probably used in here are like a cheap set that I got from, I think it was actually the range that I got it from, which is a supermarket, or yeah, a branch here in England. So I think they were quite a cheap set. I think they were only like a couple of pounds or something, so they're not that pigmented, but yeah, very, very bright. And sorry, I should have tagged these really. I mean, they were really fun to do. I remember, so I started colouring in 2014. So I actually had a car accident in 2014 and I broke quite a few things. So I wasn't really able to move around a lot. So this was my way of doing something whilst I was basically in bed, to be honest. Very, very colourful. Yeah, and it has bled free, but I mean, it's probably not a book that I'd go back to, but it's nice looking back on the things that I've done. It feels like a very long time ago, if I'm honest. Let's see if there's any more. Oh, is that one? I tried like a limited palette with this one. And yes, I remember this one. I was actually really, really proud of this one when I first did it, and I still am actually, because I managed to do the rainbow effect. Little bird. Let's see if there's any more. Oh, there's this one. Do you know what? This one here took me a really, really long time, and I suppose some of the details, it is quite fine details. And I think the pens that I was using, I didn't have fine liners at the time, so it was quite difficult to get into these little spots. So some of the colours sort of like blurred in together, but I like the overall effect though. Let's see if there's any more in this one. Oh, there is butterflies, which I didn't quite finish. And I think I must have been testing something there. Not sure what it was, if I'm honest. So that's that one. So the next one is quite similar. It's also the same Creative Colouring for Grownups, and this is Vintage Patterns. So this one here, let's have a look. Nice and bright and cheery. Let's see if there's any more. Oh, I've actually used some sort of glitter on this one. I'm not sure what that was, to be honest. Oh, it's nice looking back at the things that I've done actually. I've not opened these for a really long time. They've just been sort of sat on my shelf. Let's see if there's any more. There's this one. I was really into these like dotting and stuff. It's quite a nice effect actually. I suppose with pen it means that it's like breaking it up a little bit rather than just having block colours. So there's this one. I think I had about maybe the 36 set of the Statler 360s, the felt tips. It's this one. This one. So bright. See if there's any more. Oh, I remember this one. This one took quite a long time. And again, I didn't have fine liners at this stage, so this was all the felt tip pen, so it was like really quite challenging to get into these little spaces. And I think I was trying to... It looks like I've added water to this. I'm not sure what this was. It looks quite thin, so it might have been like some sort of fine liner. That's that one. So this one's Enchanting Nature. I think this might actually be something that my niece coloured this. I'm not sure how many I've actually done in this book. If I just have a quick look. Yeah, my niece came to stay with us, with also my nephew and my sister and her husband a couple of years ago, and I was colouring and she really wanted to be part of it, so I gave her this book to colour in. I've done this. Do you know what? I think this actually might be, yes, it was alcohol markers. I'm not sure what markers it would have been. It could be. Do you know what? I think it must be the Touch 5 that I've used on that and didn't go back to. That's it for that one. I'm putting the books on top of my printer and I'm thinking I'm going to be stacking it like Jenga. But there's quite a lot of books in front of me and I've got limited space. So this one here. So this is a calm colouring book. Beautiful images to soothe your cares away. And so I started that one. Again, I think the pencils that I bought were I was mainly into felt tip, as I said. And I think it was, do you know what, I think it was actually this book that made me realise that actually I would prefer, or I was thinking about getting into using pencil, which is why I'm sort of testing them out a little bit. Ooh. There's this one. Very bright colours. And started that one. The thing about fish. It looks like. And yeah, this reminded me of, when I was colouring this, I thought it was like, I saw it as like some sort of surfboards or something. So yeah, I went to town really with the dots and all the different colours. And oh, I can see. Yeah, I must have had a real thing for fish at this stage because I've done quite a few of the fish pages. And That's it for that book. So, one of the first books that I got was this one. Now, I think I had my Prisma, so this is in Chura, I think it's called. I'm not sure who it's by, I don't think it actually says, but so this is the first page that I did in this book, or it might be the only one actually, to be honest. Look, it's gone through. No, I think it's just this one. But I used soft pastels, and I actually had my Prismacolors at this stage. I think I had a 48 set maybe. So that was quite fun, and I was just sort of testing out the colours, but they were amazing. So compared to the ones that I'd had before that were like a few pounds, these were like a real step up for me. Is there another one? Oh, there is. God, it's a bit messy. Yeah, this is Prismacolors as well. I can tell by the bloom. So that's in that book. So these again are like earlier books. So Millie Morotto's Animal Kingdom. So let's see, done in here. Again, I think this is mainly felt tips, yeah. At this stage, I must have had fine liners to be able to get into these little details. So it doesn't even look like I've actually filled in the middles of the flowers. Might have to go back. No, I wouldn't go back if I'm honest. So this one here, I did a background. Now it's quite, I wanted the parrot to really stand out, but I was quite pleased with it at the time. So there's that one. It's another very busy page. Now these ones, so I think I had the set from the range, the coloured pencils. I think this was the second set that I had, and this was the Staedtler Ergo Softs. They're quite a hard pencil. I was really pleased with this, and it's nice looking back on it. I spent a lot of time, and I think by the looks of it, I've added a bit of fine liner to try and saturate some of the colour. I think I've done a few in this book. I remember this being, I think this was my favourite one. So I've added a bit of metallic pen and done like a sort of mottled effect on the leaves. There's this one. Yeah, so by the looks of it, I'm sort of mixing more pencil and pen together really in this book. Now this one's all fine liner. See, it's funny, I've missed a branch. Look, I've done everything else and even done a background. I don't know what that is. That must just be, I don't know, transfer from another page perhaps. So look. Yeah, see, they have gone through. I don't know whether I really layered it or, because they are water-based fine liners. And there's this one, another. Oh, I remember this one here taking quite a while, and I did individually different colours for each. I've not actually coloured in here since, well, probably since like 2016 or maybe 17. And then there's this one. Yeah, there's quite a few marks, which is a shame really, but I don't know whether it's, do you know what? I think it's actually, because if you look on this page, I've got like some sort of metallic, and I think that might be what's transferred onto the other page. Any more? Yeah, so this one I actually did, so this was a later one, and I had my, these are definitely Prismacolors, and I attempted to do a sky background, which was fun, with soft pastels. And then this one, so I added a background. I remember being really, really pleased with this one. And I think that's that for that book. So Tropical Wonderland. This is Millie Morotto. And you can see it's very, very faded. So it's been well loved. And I did this one. See, I think these are Ergo Softs. I don't think these are Prismas. I think the Prismas would probably, because I didn't fix anything. I didn't, you know, spray it to fix it or anything at the time. So I think these are probably the Ergo Softs rather than the Prismas, because the Prismas would definitely transfer, as they're, you know, that's quite normal for them to do that. So there's this one. I really like that one. And the Flamingos. That's a fun one to do. I tried to make them slightly different. There's this one. So this is actually all, yeah, so this one's all pencil with a tiny little bit of fine liner. Oh. I've just, the background, the black background's actually really, really patchy. I'm not sure what I used. I think it was probably actually the black pen. I've just noticed that I didn't actually do the beaks. So I did that beak on that parrot, but not the rest of them. So, and there's this one. And this one was all felt tips and fine liners. So this one, I'm not sure what I used. It would be a guess. I would have thought it's possibly the Ergo Softs, and then a bit of fine liner to sort of go around the darker bit. There's this one. Tried to do like a glowing effect. Wow, I have done a lot in this one. Very nice and bright. And again, I didn't do a background, but I also didn't fill in the eyes. It's that one. So bright. I started the frog. I remember really struggling because I didn't have many greens in my, because I only had like a couple of sets of pencil, so I really struggled to get the different variations. And I know now it's to do with, you know, I know that it's to do with pressure on the pencil and but yeah. So yeah, I've just noticed how much has transferred through. I don't know whether it's probably because I was quite heavy-handed. I still am, if I'm honest, but so there's this one, and the fishes, like another like rainbow sort of effect. Now this one, So this one I did with Prismacolors, and it took a long time. I really enjoyed it, and I was really happy when I finished it. It was an accomplishment, and even now, looking at it now, I'm still actually really happy with this. There's probably things that I would do slightly differently, but you know, I'm relatively happy with that one. It's nice to look back on that one. And again, missed certain things on the page. The whale. Yeah, I was quite scared of doing backgrounds when I first started colouring, so I would tend to leave it. Start that one, didn't come back to it. There's this one. Yeah, it's gone through terribly. And do you know what? At the time, I don't remember noticing that. I don't know whether it's because these books haven't been opened and they've just been packed together on my shelf, and whether that's, I don't know, caused it to transfer more. But I don't remember at the time of colouring this, I had done this one. So, yeah, but I don't remember seeing that. This one here is all pencil. This is definitely the Ergo Softs. A background. I'm not sure what I've used on this. It's some sort of water pencil or something, which has gone through quite a bit. This one, very bright. Yeah, this was an achievement. I remember doing this one quite well. And is there any more? Ah, yes, this one. And I tried to do dots for all of this bug thing down here. Yeah. So that's that one. Now, I don't know whether I've actually, excuse the cover, it looks very dirty. See if I've done any, oh, I have done this one. Missed his eye. Didn't quite finish it. Oh, I've done another one. It's this one, like a mandala sort of style. It'd be quite interesting to do a page in one of these, the Millie Morotto books, and see how it compares, because I think I would do it very differently. Yeah, it might be quite interesting to compare them. Oh, that's a nice page. I really like that one. So there's that one. So that's Wild Savannah, Millie Morotto. So the next books are Joanna Basford. So I think, I'm not sure when Enchanted Forest actually came out. So, but I do remember getting The Secret Garden and Enchanted Forest at a really similar time. So I think Enchanted Forest had been out for a little while. I think it was The Secret Garden that came out first. So this one, I'm not sure where the dust jacket is. I think I intended to actually colour the dust jacket, so I wanted to keep it safe, but I'm not sure whether I've got it anymore, to be fair. So this is the first one I did. This is definitely Prismacolors. And is there any fine liner? Yeah, I think I've blacked out certain parts of it, or maybe it was already like that. Perhaps it was already like that and I've just gone over it. There's that one. Started this bit. Didn't come back to it. So if I go... so there's this one. So I tried watercolour and I really wasn't happy with the outcome, so I sort of abandoned it, which is a shame really, because it's actually a really nice page. I actually even wrote down the colours. So there's that one, and I think I've done a couple of double page spreads in this book. Yes, there's this one. So this was all Prismacolor, no pen. I think I don't remember using pen very much in this book, or at all actually. Yeah. So another double page spread. So again, gosh, this background, it took a really long time. Very long time. I was really happy with it, but I knew that, you know, the blending really wasn't looking back on it, it's not great, but you know, it's got the effect, hasn't it? So unless you're looking really closely, but it is pretty rough. I remember doing layers and layers and layers. So and again, I've missed things. Yeah. So what else have I done in this one? So there's this one, something, my attempt at some grass. I hope you're in frame. Probably not. So and this one. So again, I used some sort of, probably a felt tip. Actually, I think this might be, I think this is Posca. I think this is like the first Posca that I actually bought and I used to black out. So I did the flowers first, and then I decided to black it out. And it actually does say that it was January 2019 that I did this. So it's not that long ago, it's, you know, a couple of years ago, or 2 years ago. So there's that one, and I'll show you that. So next one is, so our Enchanted Forest is the next one. So Enchanted Forest, oh sorry, excuse the paper, hopefully it's just blank paper and nothing else. So Enchanted Forest, I would say that the Enchanted Forest by Joanna Basford is definitely my favourite all-time book, because it's what really gripped me into colouring. Although the patterns and stuff were, you know, they're lovely books, but I think it was this one that really changed things for me. I knew that it was something that I was going to do like long term. Yeah. So there's that one. And there's this one. I wasn't that happy with this one at the time, because I just think I didn't like place the colours very well. But it, you know, it looks okay. See if I've got any more. This one. So this one's a work in progress, but I don't imagine that I would come back to this. So there's this one. So this one is Prismacolors. Now I've used a blender on this one, and I think it is possibly the Prismacolor colourless blender that I've used, and also some Gansai Tambi watercolour for the glitter. Yeah. So this page here, I'm looking at this one, and I don't know when I don't know whether I wrote down when I completed it. It would be quite small. I don't think I have, no. But this one was a game changer for me. This page, I just remember looking back on it and thinking, you know, I'd completed it, it'd taken a really long time, but I just remember being so happy, and I still look at it now and think, actually, you know, yeah, I'm still really proud of this page, or this double spread. And then there's this one. So this one here, I'm just making sure it's in shot. So this one here, I used Neo colours. It didn't quite work the way I planned it to, but I don't know whether on camera it probably looks better than it does in person, but in person it does look a little bit, the blending is not wonderful. So there's that one. And then this one here, so I did the owl first and then I did the squirrel. So again, I've used, this is an acrylic, I'm not sure what brand it was, but I've used Gansai Tambi, Prismacolors, and a bit of white gel pen. Is that one? And this one. I thought I'd go a bit different because I was doing like blue backgrounds, and obviously I did a green one. I think I did this one here after I'd done the green spread, but the blending is definitely better. Even now actually, like the dark colours, you could like forever layer with Prismacolors. I'm still not really like 100% confident in doing backgrounds even now. It's something I still sort of like struggle with. So there's that. And so this one I did with Inktense, which I never came back to, which is the same. I really like this blue colour. I think it makes the acorns actually really stand out. It's a shame I didn't come back to it. There's that one. Now this one I was using the Neo Colour 2s by Caran d'Ache, and I just, it just wasn't going the way I wanted it to. So I sort of abandoned it. And there's this one I never came back to. I think because the flowers sort of like been cut, and I think I got to this stage and I was like, well, where is the rest of it? And then I didn't really want to draw it in myself because I knew that I wouldn't do it justice, so I left it. So there's that one, and any more? Yes. So this one you might recognise actually, because I followed it was the first ever tutorial that I followed, and it was Peter Hewitt. It took me a really, really, really long time to do this one with all the little details, but it's a nice page. And then this one, I used my Prismacolors, and the background I believe is the Neo Colour 2s. I realised that I'd done the frog first, and then I'd done the background, and then I realised that actually I should have gone probably with maybe a darker colour, because the brightness of the yellow and the green, the frog didn't really stand out anymore. So, lesson learned sort of thing. And I've used, by the looks of it, there's Wink of Stella on the, you might not be able to see it, but I'll just tilt it a little bit. Wink of Stella on some of the wings. So there's that one. And then these two. So this one I did in 2018. I'm really proud of this one. I'm just looking at it definitely is Posca, but there's some sort of white on it. I don't know whether it's because it's smudged, or actually that's probably from the gel pen. But I don't think I used fixative, so it's very possible that it's transferred from the other page. And there's this one. Now this page here, I really enjoy doing it. I had in my mind that it wouldn't take very long, but actually it took me a lot longer than what I thought it would. And I don't think I sort of realised that actually there's so many little details that it actually took me surprisingly a really long time. But yeah, I actually used Inktense as a base for the waves, and then the rest is Prismacolor. I think there's a bit of gel pen in these spots here, and I think that's about it for that one. Now these, so I did a bit of a theme. Wow, this page here is the glitter has gone absolutely everywhere, but it sparkles, so that's nice. So I'll start with this one. So I think before, I've outlined it. I think it was just sort of the florals and it was an empty space. And yeah, I wasn't keen on doing a background for that one. So I did that on there in May 2019. And then there's this one. So you might be able to see. Now this was actually my Inktense, and I might have used a bit of pencil on it, but I think the majority of it was the Inktense, just the Inktense. Slide it on back. And only a tiny weeny bit went through, and that's probably because I doused it in water. So, and then there's this one. This one here. I remember doing the horses, and I actually used the neon colours for the horses. And then the greenery around it is Prismacolors. So there's that one. And I think this might be the last one. So this one I used all Prismacolors, and then on the gates I've used the Gansai Tambi. I was quite happy with the moon, but the background I really, really tried, and it just looks so speckly, and I think I've burnished the paper. I've pushed the tooth of the paper completely down, so it really couldn't take any more that I was throwing at it pencil wise. So yeah, that was the end result. I don't actually know when I did this one. I must have stopped writing when I did them, but so there's that one. I'm not sure whether there's any more in here. Oh, there's one at the back. So there's this one, autumny colours. So there's that one. Now the next book is another one of Joanna Basford. So this is Lost Ocean. Excuse the white gel pen. Again, the dust jacket, I probably thought at the time that I might colour it, and yeah, I took it off. But so this is the first page that I did in the book, and I did a background. Yeah, and all of these, I think I must have used, yeah, it was probably Prismas that I used on this one. Yeah. I remember being so happy with this one, and it is lovely. Maybe not colours that I would potentially, select now, but I was really pleased with that at the time. This one, so this one took me a very, very long time. There's so many little details that yeah, I think I've definitely used fine liner. I can spot bits that I've used the Staedtler fine liners. I'm not sure whether I've done any more in this book. Oh, no, I have, I lied. So there's this one, the mandala sort of page. This is not something that I would do now. Yeah, I wouldn't, it's a lot of patience. I don't think I'm as patient now as I was then. So there's that one. And there's fish. So this one here, these must be the Staedtler 360s. but I recognise the colours. And see if there's any more. Well, I've done a few in here. I did more than what I thought I had actually. So there's this double page spread. And again, Prismacolors, soft pastels for the background. I think the ones that I had were the Faber-Castell ones, which I still have and use actually. I do remember using a fixative on this, and I remember it sort of bleeding into the other colours. What fixative it was, I'm really not sure. I don't think I ever used hairspray. Yeah, I remember being very proud of this dome thing. I've got a bit of white gel pen, and I don't think there's any sort of metallic anywhere. No. So that was a lot of fun. And there's this one. I've done a bit of a background. It's very, very, very faint. You might not even be able to see it. Very, very faint. And yeah, see these sorts of pages now, like I really wouldn't do them now. I must have liked them at the time, but not something that I've ever really gone back to. They're sort of like, you know, wallpaper pages. And this one here, so I started doing the fish, started the background, and then just never came back to it. And I think that's it for this book, yeah. So there's this one here. So this was, I didn't actually purchase this, but my friend gave it to me. So there's a few things that she had done in here, but this is the one that I started. And never came back to. These are the, I think I was testing that, so I got a new Posca. So this is Posca, so this is acrylic Posca, and then I think the rest is the Ergo Softs. But yeah, I just never came back to it. I think that's the only one that I did in here. My friend had done that page, but so there's that one, and there's a bit of paper there. So we'll stick with so Magical Jungle. So Magical Jungle by Joanna Basford. I started the cover and then just decided not to continue with the cover. So the first page I did in here was this one, and I used all pencil, all Prismacolors, and yeah, I was really happy with it. I'm still happy with it. It's very bright, cheerful. I'm not sure whether I've done any more in this book though, which is quite shameful because I really like this book, but I don't think I have done any more, which I think tells me that really I definitely need to do another page in here. Yeah, definitely need to do another page in here. So there's that one. And so The Magical City by Lizzie Mary Cullen. So I haven't actually completed any in here. This is the only book that I have of Lizzie's. And do you know what I really like? I really like the artwork, but I just find it very intimidating. So this is the first time using Inktense pencils, and I was just sort of doing some of the scrolls, just trying to work them out really and testing them. And then, because I would watch a lot of Peter Hewitt's her videos, and she would really just use the Inktense. So I was inspired by that really. And I think, yes, so I started this one and never came back to it. So really, it is a lovely book. It really is. I just need to, I think now, I don't feel as intimidated now. But I need to get at least one. My aim is to have at least one page in each of my books to be completed. But yeah, so there's that one. And so following on from the Joanna Basford, so this is Inky Ivy and the Inky Butterfly. So with this one, I think I wanted to really protect the cover, so I've actually used blue tack. But you know, it seems to be holding up because I have coloured a few things in here and it's not, yeah, it seems to be protecting it, so I'll stick with it. So this is the first page that I did. It's all Prismacolor. So there's that one. Yeah, see, these have really transferred, which is a shame, but you know, it is what it is, isn't it? So there's those 2 pages. I haven't put my name in. So my initial plan was to do this like page by page and not to jump around in it. So this is the first proper page that I'd done in this book, and this was March 2019. So this is Inktense and some sort of gel pen and Prismacolors, and then soft pastels for the background. Yeah, the blending is not quite, didn't quite work the way I wanted it to. I wanted it to be a bit smoother than that, but you know, it's what it is. So here's the next one. Yeah, I remember really enjoying doing these strawberries. So that was a fun page to do. And then I got to this one and realised that it's all metals and it's not, yeah, I think I got quite intimidated. And then I ended up skipping to, I think there's this page actually. There's a couple more. So this is double page spread that I did. So I don't think this is soft pastel in the background. I think this is, I think it's pencil. It's very, very, very faint though. I've done like a sort of minty green, just where the blossoms are. So there's that one, and I've used a bit of metallic here and there. So there's that page, and there's this one. So I'm not sure whether those are, no, I don't think these are the dual metallic. I'm not sure. So the background is all Prismacolors. I think everything is Prismacolors really, by the looks of it. And then some gel pen on here. Yeah, I really wasn't sure what to do. I didn't want to go over the text because it's obviously quite dark. But I really like this bit. I didn't really know what I was doing with the lighting with the lanterns, but yeah, it's a nice page to look back on actually. And I think I've done one more in here. Oh, I've done 2. So there's this one. So this here was an addition. So this was a whip for a really, really long time, and I came back to it and completed it. And then I thought, well, whilst I'm here, I might as well just, you know, do this one in similar colours. But I closed the book, didn't think much of it, and it transferred. So it's all sort of transferred over here, and then I've decided to put this in. Oh, and there's this one, just quite fun. very limited colour palette. Try to just make it as cohesive as possible because there's a lot going on. And then there's this one. So this one, I think this might actually be the pan pastels that I've used on this one and never come back to it. I really like mushrooms, like in colouring pages. I am very much drawn to them. So there's those one. Oh, I should probably put that. I'm going to put this back. There's that one. So it's still, they're all balancing on my printer. They're doing well. They haven't fallen off yet, so that's good. So, Joanna Basford's World of Flowers. Let's have a look, see what I've done in this one. I'm really conscious that I keep saying I'm a little nervous, if I'm honest, because this is my first ever video. So, this is the first page I did. This was with Prismacolors. Now I noticed that my name is Helena, by the way. I've not done it in pen because I think I was a bit, I'm still a bit funny about writing in books actually, like doing the nameplates. But there's that one, and so this one here was actually relatively recent. I used my Holbeins. This is the first page that I did with my Holbein set. It would have been a couple of years ago, I think. Maybe a couple of years ago. So there's that one. And I think that might be the only one. I've got so many plans for this book and... Oh, no, I lied, I've done another one. Ah, yes. This was a nice page to do. It's relatively quick. It is quite detailed because there's a lot of small components, but I followed colouring. Well, I was inspired by Colouring F's video, and she did like the fairy dust. I think it was she was doing a tutorial, and it was Enchanted Forest. Don't quote me. I can't remember. But I think it was definitely one of the Johanna Basfords, and she did Tinkerbell. She drew in Tinkerbell and added I followed her tutorial for that one and just did it with the butterflies. And it's actually really effective. I quite like it, and I've added some sparkle. There's some gel pen there, and I think that might be. Oh no, I don't even know what I've done. There's the end. So I've done the start. I've done the start. Now, so I do actually have another copy of this book, and I did this page here, and I did it with Neocolours, and I'd just done this part, and then I was going over it with pencils, and obviously I've had this bound, but the first copy that I got, this is obviously one of the first pages, and because there was a bit of a gap underneath, it had actually like caused indentation, and it really bothered me. So I got a new copy and I got it bound for that reason, so then I can get into these parts and not have to worry about, really what I should have done is just have something behind the page, and I do that now, but at the time I didn't. So there's that one. So the last picture I wanted to share with you in this part is Joanna Basford's page, which is actually from the colouring book Flourish. I believe it's still available. So it's a free colouring book that she released last year when the UK first went into lockdown. So this one here I used Prismacolors only. I did it in May of last year. Really enjoyed this one. It was a nice one to do. I really like colouring mushrooms, so this is the one that I chose to do. I haven't actually coloured any of the other ones. I need to get to them. I have got them printed out in a folder. So there's that one. Now I'm going to leave it here. So thank you very much for watching, and I will be back with part 2. Take care. Bye.